guys, welcome back to another video of the discussion reality TV talk segment. I'm back with another one. We're back with episodes 2 and 3 review of Real Housewives the Ultimate Girls Trip. Y'all, if you did not see my episode 1 review, definitely check it out. I'll link it up here in the cards, but definitely go watch it before you watch, of course, episode 2 and 3. So without further ado, let's get into the video. To be or not to be, not. Alright, so we begin with episode 2, Ultimate Girls Trip. It is Luann's day. They are going on a catamaran, and then also that day is going to be Cynthia'S, Shady, Bailey Q. And if you don't know, if you don't watch Real Housewives of Atlanta, I'm sure you do. Cynthia has been doing the Bailey Q. This is the 3rd annual Bailey Q that she's having at the Ultimate Girls Trip, but she has done this before on Real Housewives of Atlanta. And if you don't know, they come over, they eat barbecued foods. It's at Cynthia's house, the Lake Bailey. And then, of course, we get into like the shady segment. We be like, best this and best that and the worst this and the worst that and the most shadiest and the pettiest. Like they have different categories, and everybody has to decide who belongs in what category. So they're gonna be doing that. So then we get into the episode, and oh my god, of course they're supposed to be doing like tennis instructing, and Ramona wants the tennis instructor for herself. She tells Melissa that she doesn't want her to do tennis with her. She wants to do it on her own. She's like, I'm gonna do the first 40 minutes and then you'll have the last 20 minutes. Come down to the last 20 minutes. And this woman could not find the tennis instructor. She took like 10-11 minutes to find the instructor. I was weak. I was so weak because I was like, girl, she's like, yeah, you know, because I need my workout. I need at least 45 minutes of working out, blah, blah, blah. And she ends up being late still. But yeah, she gets to the tennis court. She's doing that. They didn't show Melissa or Kenya being on the tennis court. So I don't know if they went or not. Or, of course, with editing, they probably just cut that out. But they just showed Ramona's part. And then we get to Luann. She's talking to Michael about the plans. And then she ends up showing her body, because she comes out in like a towel, and then Melissa's like, oh, what do you have under there? She's like, nothing. She opens her towel for Melissa. Melissa's like, I see a little puss. Like, when I tell you I screamed, like that had me, I don't know why that had me so freaking weak. And she shows her body to Cynthia, and Cynthia's recording her. She's like, oh yeah, Bravo's gonna blur you out, blah blah, which they did. They blurred her out. But Luann's body, we know Luann has a nice body. Like, she looks great. Now we see Kenya and Melissa getting closer. They're building this friendship, and you're so beautiful, you're so sexy, you're this, you're that, you look amazing, you're gorgeous. Melissa's talking about, look at this ass, all this ass. Like, Melissa's an ass girl. She was feeling all on Kenya's ass or whatever. And you can see Cynthia is low-key kind of jealous. Like, I can feel it brewing. You could just see it, because of course she's the one who, because she even said it. She's like, Kenya's supposed to be my friend. I thought he was going to be cling, buddy, but I see her, which is great. I see her being with everybody else, so I need to start making friends with these girls. So she's starting to try to make friends with people. She pulled Kyle aside, and she's like talking to Kyle about, this is later on when they're on the catamaran, Luann's day, and she pulls Kyle aside, and she's like, because of course Kyle's been married for 20 plus years, so she's asking her like, how you've lasted this long, give me some advice, because you know this is my 2nd marriage and I want this one to work, blah blah blah. We already know there's some rumors that Michael was cheating on her these past couple of months. They've been saying that, don't know, allegedly, because I don't know if it's true or not, but yeah, just because of this past, people were saying that it was true. But yeah, Kyle was giving her some advice. They was bonding-ish. Forgot to say, I can't remember if it was the beginning of this episode or the beginning of episode 3, but I remember Cynthia and Teresa taking a walk. Took a walk, and they had a moment of like bonding, a bonding experience. So it was cute. And then we see in this episode Teresa and Ramona kind of bonding, because of course, like I said in episode 1, Ramona called Teresa a scarecrow. So in this episode, they were trying to like put that to the side and bond. And we find out that they had the same career. Like, they both worked for Macy's, they both worked for Calvin Klein, they both were buyers for Macy's. So it was hilarious. And then Ramona's like, oh, well, you had to be smart then, because you know, buyers are smart. She like making everything she said better, because she's like, oh, if I was a buyer for Macy's, I'm smart, then you have to be smart because you were a buyer for Macy's also. Then they both work for Calvin Klein. So everybody's like, y'all have way more in common than y'all even knew and than y'all thought. Then we get to Ramona and Luann getting into it a little bit, because Luann starts talking about her ex-husband, and then Ramona gets her from the table, and everybody's like, what the hell? Like, she's speaking, and Ramona's like, oh, I heard this story before. And everybody's like, oh my girl, like, so what? Be there for your friend. Like, Luann is literally, she wants everybody to hear it. Just be there for your friend. You say you love Luann, you like being around her, like, be there for her. So Ramona walks up, she's like, oh, he's dated all her friends, da-da-da, he dated me. She kind of made it about herself. She started saying, oh, he dated me first, he dated all your friends, da-da-da. As Ramona does, she tried to make it about herself. She walks away. So all the girls literally told her, like, girl, like, she wanted you to be there. Of course, apologizes. She apologizes to Luann. Luann has so much freaking patience, because the amount of times that Ramona has disrespected her in this show, of course, in Real Housewives of New York, like, I would already been over Ramona at that point. Watching her on TV, watching her from afar, I'd be like, I don't know how they still want to be around this woman, because yes, like I said, she has her moments. She's one of those people that you love but you also hate at the same time, because she has her moments where you're like, nah, she's funny, but she has her moments where she's an asshole. Like, she's rude as hell sometimes, and it's like, how could these women still be her friend? Like, I don't know, but yeah, Luann has a lot of patience. I'm gonna give her that for sure. Then later on in the night, we finally get into the Bailey Q, and this is where Kenya and Cynthia's friendship even takes a more further turn, because Kenya ends up being like an hour and a half late to Cynthia's Bailey Q. So of course Cynthia is already annoyed, but before Kenya comes, she says, all right, I'm gonna tell you guys the rules of the game, because Kenya has already played it, blah blah blah. But what made it even worse, Kenya was late and then came in with food. I was like, Kenya, like, come on, that's so rude. You're late. They were waiting on you to start eating, and you come in with food. So Cynthia was just annoyed and over her. And then she comes in, and then because Kyle was up, she already didn't like the game, because Cynthia starts explaining the game, like the prettiest and the best body, the sexiest, blah blah. Kyle was like, I don't like this objectifying, blah blah blah. So when Kenya comes in, Kyle tells Kenya, like, I don't like this game. And then Kenya, who has played this game before, is like, oh yeah, I don't like that, it's very misogynistic. And I'm like, Kenya, you've played this game multiple times, now you talk about it's misogynistic. Like, be there for your friend, stick up for your friend a little bit, because Cynthia goes, like I said in the first video, Cynthia ride or die. She goes hard for her friendships. Like, look at her coming in and saying Kenya should get the best room. Like, she goes hard. So I'm like, Kenya, at least stick up for your friend just a little bit. Be there. Like, I could see why Cynthia was annoyed. Some people on Twitter like, oh, why is Cynthia annoyed? Like, come on. If you were in her shoes, you would be a little bit annoyed too. Like, let's be real. So yeah, then we get to the question, what really broke the ice. We get to the question about insecurity. Someone, I forgot who answered it first, but then Cynthia was like, let's go around the table and each name our insecurities. So they went around the table, talk about their insecurities, and that kind of broke the ice and made the night a little bit better. And then they got into the prettiest and the pettiest and the sexiest and all that, and everybody kind of warmed up a little bit. Kyle felt a little bad. She was apologizing to Cynthia, and yeah, that's how we ended the night with the Bailey Q. It was, of course, like, it was a little messy. It was a little, because obviously I feel like the Atlanta girls, you know, they have tougher skin to me. Like, the Atlanta girls can hang and play that game. These other girls from the other franchises, they a little bit more sensitive, you know? So they were like, I don't know about this. Especially Kyle, because, you know, she already has, like, body image issues. So I can see where Kyle, because she already, like, feels some type of way about her body. So to name that stuff, she was like, see, I can see both sides. I can definitely see where Kyle was coming from, because there's some people that don't care, like, name the prettiest and the sexiest and this and this. It's like, why do we have to do that? Like, we're all women here trying to get to know each other, get along. So I could get where Kyle was coming from, and then I could also get where Cynthia's coming from, because she's like, oh, this is my night and I want y'all to play. It's not malicious, it's just fun. Like, let's have some fun. So that was her fun, and she wanted them to join on her fun. But yeah, Cynthia was pissed. Okay, she was pissed. And then because Kenya goes, introducing 50 Cent, and then of course Bravo's freaking editing 50 Cent, and Cynthia looking upset. It was hilarious. That was the end of episode 2. So let's move on to episode 3, y'all. Episode 3, and it's the morning after the Bailey Q. Of course, Cynthia comes down, and she's still kind of annoyed from the night before, but she is trying to get over it. She's like, you know, let me eat my potato salad. Before that, they asked Kenny if she wanted some potato salad for breakfast. She's like, oh no, potato salad for breakfast. And then she she shades the shit out of Cynthia's potato salad and said that it wasn't that good. Nah, Kenya is a fool. I can't take her. So then Kyle comes down. She apologizes again, because Kyle is one of those people, like, she wants everything to be peaceful. She wants everything to be good. And she's like, I'm apologize to make sure everything is smooth, because she don't want anybody to be mad at her. Like, that's her thing. She don't want people to be mad at her. So she apologized again. Cynthia said we're good. But you could still have, like, you could still feel like an underlying tension. Like, Cynthia, to me, she wasn't easygoing on this trip. She was a little bit tense. I don't know, she was a little bit tense. But we'll talk about that when we get on to the next episodes in the next video. And then we see Kenya go into her court date. She has her little court date online, and she is talking about how it's like a public forum, which I was like, what? A public forum for a court date where people can comment on your case? Like, that's so crazy to me. Like, something so private people can go in public and watch and comment on. Like, that's horrible. Then a part that had me screaming, Luann at the breakfast table, Luann asked about Bolo. And I was like, Luann, yes, Luann, you better come on, ask about Bolo. And she started talking about Bolo had jerking off with, like, the grapefruit, and how the grapefruit exploded. I'm like, send me the link. I want to see that link. Like, let me see. So she started asking about Bolo. That was hilarious. I was like, let's Luann. Of course, leave it to Luann to ask about Bolo. I love it. Because Bolo was like, from last season of Atlanta's Housewives, that was the most interesting part of the whole season. Like, honestly. So then Teresa's like, oh my God, y'all made me horny now. Like, I'm about to go have phone sex. So yeah, that was cute. Like, the thing is with these episodes and with Housewives in general, you have your fun, lighthearted moments, and then you have your moments of just drama. And this show is no different. Like, it's literally the same, just with the combination of all these bitches together in one house. And then we get into the big war that has been going on for the past 10 years on Real Housewives of New Jersey. Did Melissa tell Teresa that she was coming on the show, or did she just show up? Of course, Melissa says she told Teresa. Teresa says, no, you did not. You just showed up. And it's about the family. You know, the Godfather. Like, she keeps bringing up the Godfather. It was so funny. Now, Teresa's hilarious. And then they have this little banter of like, no, you didn't tell me. Yes, you did. We're never gonna know the truth. Like, we're 10 years later and we're still arguing and talking about, did Melissa tell Teresa? Like, we're never gonna know. Like, it's one of those stories where it's he said, she said, and we won't know. Like, the only thing that would break this up is if Melissa finds that text or the phone call she recorded telling Teresa. Like, we would never know, and this will be an argument for Real Housewives history to come, because it's always gonna come up. It came up later on in the episode again on Watch What Happens Live when they were all on, and Andy had to just cut them off because they would have got into argument again about it. It was like, oh my God, can we just let it go? And then later on in the day, we have Kyle's night, and she brings an astrologer. And I'm like, girl, didn't you learn from Allison? Like, you brought on another psychic astrologer person. She brings the astrologer on, and it was funny because Melissa goes, So nobody was a janitor. Like, everybody was royalty or the queen or something. Like, it was so funny because everybody was just some royalty. Like, every single person, she's like, in your past life you was this, you was this queen, you were this royal. Like, every single person. And then what sent me was when she got to Kenya, she was like, you were supposed to be, well, your past life and in this life you're supposed to be a shaman. And Kenya was like, oh please. Like, that was hilarious because that was the indicator, like, fraud. Like, what, girl? That was just a bunch of fraud. Like, and the thing is with these housewives, especially when you bring on like somebody like an astrologer or like a psychic or whatever, they could be fans of the show, watching the show, or they could Google you and find out all this information because she brought up Kenya's mom not wanting her and all that, which is public knowledge. So you saying that is not really anything. And she brings up like Kenya's mom in the past life, she had a son and she had to save the son, and that's why that's why Kenya's mom don't want her in this life, because she's brought on the strife from the previous life. I was like, what, Kyle? Where did you find this woman? Like, you brought her from Beverly Hills to Turks and Caicos, because where did you find this woman? But that's episode 2 and 3 of Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. Definitely comment down below. Let me know what you think of the episode. Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? Let me know what was your favorite part. Of course, subscribe to the channel to see more. Go check out the previous video. Like I said, go check out episode 1's review, and follow me on my social medias. Definitely follow me there, and I will see you guys in my next video. Peace, love,